Welcome to Potions Pop-Up Show. It's pretty much a work in progress type of show where I just pretty much put a lot of different episodes together in one long show type of format. For those who want to see a little bit more and just don't want to, watch a 5-minute long video that I usually make. Just gonna touch on stuff that I do, throughout the week, what games I'm playing, things I buy, things I'm doing, and thus, it's gonna be a little bit different, a little bit more slow paced, a little more chill. So yeah. Anyways, go ahead and get yourself a beverage. Mine is over there.
You wanna run back and get it?
No, we've gone too far.
It's actually something I shouldn't be having, but it just calls to me, so I'm having it. But today I wanted to start this episode with something that I just read online recently, just right now. Just some news, if you don't mind. Subnautica, the developer, Unknown Worlds, I guess they released Subnautica. Supposedly that shit sold 6 million copies, an indie game, and it was bought off by Krafton, the studio. And they're working on Subnautica 2. And it turns out that the three, main people that the head of the studios were ousted. They were let go. Everyone thought they left after they sold the company, or maybe they just moved on. Business. Turns out they were fired, even though they didn't want to go. And the reason being, or swirling around the internet, is because Krafton doesn't want to pay the studio $250 million in bonus that they're going to receive once the game, reached a milestone, which was early release, and it was gonna sell gangbusters because the last one sold gangbusters, and so they were gonna get a $250 million bonus that was gonna go towards them, and that's where the brouhaha started. Now, the developers, or the three people, should I say, are suing Krafton now for whatever reasons. That wasn't not this whole story about the suing and backstabbing is not really what I started reading it for. It was just like, I just wanted you to know that's what's happening. Big publishers backstabbing, a studio, which is nothing new. Now, the publisher, Krafton, came out and said that the $250 million bonus they're still going to honor, but they're using shifty language because they said that it was initially going to go to the three developers, the three, the CEO, the whatever. It was going to go to them. Most of it, like 90%, was going to go to them, and then the rest was going to go to the rest of the staff. And then the original developers, fired back and said that yes, that's true. However, traditionally, like they've done in the past, like when they sold the studio Subnautica Unknown Worlds to Krafton, they shared that profit with the staff because they believe and they know that the staff is what made it all possible. So yes, they were going to receive that bonus, but they were also going to pay out the staff with the $250 million bonus like they've done before previously. So they're trying to throw shade back at each other, and it's not working. Now we have the Subnautica people out there, the community, wanting to strike Subnautica 2 because of what Krafton is doing. And it's just like, man, this thing is with publishers and game developers. It's like, it don't mix. Why? Because of the money. Now, I had no idea that Subnautica was making that type of money. I mean, I played it before. I really didn't get into it, but 6 million copies it sold. I mean, it was an indie title. Like, I think it was like $20, $30. It wasn't that much. So I'm not sure how it made that much money, I guess, microtransaction and stuff after the fact? I'm not sure. You guys let me know out there. But to pay out a $250 million bonus on a sequel that may or may not recover that money, I understand what Krafton is doing. But at the same time, you can't do that shit. Shifty. And that's why they're being sued. Now, they say they're going to pay off the money, so whatever. We'll see if they do. But this is just brouhaha, going on in the industry. And the thing is about Krafton, they're the ones that bought Tango Gameworks, the people who made Hi-Fi Rush. So it's like, I wonder how they're going to screw that studio. Because this is not the first time that Krafton has done this. They've also done this to the people who made Callisto Protocol. That studio is a shell of itself. It's already had 2 rounds of layoffs. Right now, supposedly, is still functioning studio, but I mean, they can't really. I mean, I get Claire Obscure 33 with the 30 person studio that had to outsource jobs to get the game done. I guess it's still possible, and if they're thinking lean, mean, green like that, then okay. And if they end up paying the $250 million bonus to wherever it needs to go, then okay. Maybe Tango Gameworks and Hi-Fi Rush is okay. But all this craziness going on between publishers and game studios and people who used to own it, and well, there's a lawsuit, and we'll see where that goes. But I just wanted to touch on that. I know it's long, but this video episode is going to be long, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm not sure what's next. I need to get my freaking drink. I need to get my drink. I watched Superman today. I will give you that review in a bit. It's not really a review, it's just my thoughts on it. Just my thoughts. I'm also going to be talking about a book that I bought. Yes, a book. You need to read, guys. You just can't play video games all the damn time. Read it. It zens you out. It expands your imagination. You absorb other people's imagination and just gives you greater ideas and stuff. There's a cat right here. There's a cat. Pixie! And we're going to be talking about some games that I just recently bought for the Nintendo Switch. I want to become a physical collector of my Nintendo Switch games now, because they're actually on the freaking disc. Not like the Nintendo Switch 2, where the game cards, like what the hell is that? Speaking of game cards and physical products, because that's what it is, they're going to sell you empty Switch things. Empty ones. With the game code, so you can put a box, just an empty box on your shelf. Nintendo 2, the Switch 2, another cat right here. The Switch 2. It's like, what the? Like, that's an insult, man. So, I started buying my Nintendo Switch 1 games because at least the games are in there when it's in there. It's in the Switch right now. But you know what I mean? Man, God, Nintendo. It's like, how do you guys defend that? Not only are they not putting their games on the disc, on some of them, but some of them don't even have the freaking game disc to begin with. Oh, the Nintendo Switch 2 is a disappointment. Like, why would I want to buy my games for the Nintendo Switch 2? Like, right now, if I want to buy physical and have it all on the disc. Like, going back and buying DS games and buying Switch games is easy for me. I don't even mind. I bought a few of them. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to do it right now. Let's talk about the games that I just picked up for the Nintendo Switch 2. The first one that I showed you was Star Wars, the Heritage Pack. It has 7 classic games. It has a Star Wars, The Force Unleashed. I played it on the 360. Pretty good. It has Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. I just started that one. I played it a long time ago. I liked it. It has Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Again, I played it, but it's all in one. 7 in 1. Has Knights of the Old Republic. Oh, awesome games. Has Knights of the Old Republic 2. Awesome. Like, probably one of the best Star Wars games out there. I think it was the first Star Wars RPG. My God, it was so good for the time. I played it after the fact, and it's a little slower, but still, I'm going to play it again. Especially on the Switch to go. And then it has a Star Wars Pod Racer. I haven't played that one. I think I played it maybe a long time ago on Nintendo, Super Nintendo? I don't know. It was like a long 64? I don't know, a long time ago. And it also has Star Wars Republic Commando. But it's pretty much 7 games in one. And I bought it off of eBay. I don't think it was that much. I can't remember. But, yeah. I ended up buying that bad boy. And I just recently bought Suikoden. Now, I've never played this one before. Never played this one. Sorry for the glare. This is still new. I haven't played this one before. But it has both games HD remastered. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. Now, what I started to do for the Nintendo Switch, except for the Star Wars one, is actually buy games that interest me like they used to interest me before. like when we were younger and we only had maybe a game magazine to go by and let you know little things, but you didn't really know much. And you go to the store and you look at the cover and you look at the back and you see the graphics, you read the story, you're like, you know what, I might like this. And so even though I don't really know what this game is about or this RPG series, I just might like it. And if I don't, I mean, I could always just put it on the shelf or, trade it into a local game store that I recently went to. And I will show you that as well, where I bought these two titles today. One is called Pathway. It's a limited run edition game. So, they bought it from limited runs and they traded into my local GameStop. It's an independent GameStop called Game On. I didn't get a picture of the outside, but next time I will. But pretty much, you are battling Nazis. And I thought, a game where you battle Nazis? Like, yeah, win. So let me just read you a little bit of it. It says, assemble a bold team, adventurous journey through the desert. The year is 1936 and Nazis' activities is increasing in intensity day by day. Tirelessly, they send their expeditions into the vastness of the desert and the hostile mountains of the Middle East. What could the army of the evil be searching for? So you assemble a team and you go out there and kill some Nazis. Now, that sounds freaking awesome. So I don't really know much about this game. It cost me $24.99. I will give it a go. And again, if I don't like it, I'll return it. Not return it, but trade it into the store so another individual out there can get a game and I'll get something else. And last but not least, I got Cosmic Star Heroine for $59.99. They come with little bugs too, which is pretty cool. Just in case you guys want to see. I really liked the little book that it came with. I liked that it told me about the story. It told me about different characters and stuff. And yeah, it's another RPG type of game. Don't really know much about it. Like I said, I looked at the cover. I read the back. I read what the game was about, and I'm gonna give it a chance. Now, that's crazy talk, right? Because nowadays we know pretty much everything about games, especially like someone who is into the video game scene like me and you. Like, we see all these reviews before they come out. We see freaking, gameplay videos. We see trailers. We hear stories. We talk about it online. So we pretty much know a lot about a lot of video games. But the thing is, we know less than we know of because there's so much out there. For example, this game, I never even knew it existed. That game, I never even knew it existed. So there's many games out there that are probably awesome that I didn't know that existed. So I'm willing to give it a chance. Now, this game was $59.99, full price pretty much, and I bought it used. It's also a limited run game. So, I'm sure you can probably buy it digitally for, $12 or something. But the thing is, I want my games physically for my Nintendo Switch. If not for any other system out there, like not for my Xbox, I have it all pretty much digital now. Not for my PlayStation 5, I own one full game, physical, and it's Death Stranding. If I buy more games for my PlayStation, when I do, I will buy them physical as well from now on, if they're on the disc. Because if not, then what's the freaking point, man? Yeah, it's disappointing, Nintendo. Disappointing the Xbox too that does this. And speaking of which, let me read you this just in case you wanted to know. It's the greatest spy in the galaxy. Aliens, robots, magic, forbidden technology, ruined worlds, ghosts, long lost secrets, conspiracies, a galaxy threat. One brave heroine to make things right. Welcome to the Zevani system. Welcome to Cosmic Star Heroine. Alyssa Al-Sal, one of the top secret agents of the Agency of Peace and Intelligence of the planet Arcanu. But when she uncovers a horrible conspiracy, she must go rogue in order to save the entire Zanagli system. Featuring beautiful 16 graphics, a unique turn-based combat system, and seamless battle transitions, a thrilling soundtrack by Hyperduck Soundworks, Dust Elysian, and something blah blah blah. Get ready for the greatest sci-fi espionage adventure in the galaxy. We'll see. We will see. Cosmic Star Heroine. So those are the games that I recently picked up. I'll be doing first run impressions on those. If you're interested and want to know what those games are about, I really don't know what they're about, but we will see. Here, I'm almost done with my beverage. And now let's move on to my Superman not review. It's not a review. If I said it was a review, it's not. It's just my impressions, man. First of all, let me just say, if you're one of those people that go to movies to hate, or just like are creators that hate, I have nothing to say to you guys anymore. Like, I'm just gonna say my piece. I enjoyed it, and if you guys didn't, that's on you guys. And if you guys are the people who like to watch that content, then more power to you. But I don't like going around being angry. Life is freaking gravy, man. So I like to go enjoy things and enjoy them. And so that's what I intend to do. Enjoy my life and enjoy the movies that I see. And if there's something that I don't like, whatever, maybe I'll watch the next one, or maybe I'll watch another movie. Life goes on. That's all I'm saying. So the wind is blowing. Hopefully the mic doesn't sound too crazy. But I figured, since we're talking about Superman and the sun, we'll shoot this outside. But I just finished watching Superman, got out of the theater about an hour ago, and I freaking loved it. I loved the movie. I even teared up a little bit, to tell you the truth. I didn't expect to do that, but I did. It was when, I don't want to spoil it, but there's going to be spoilers because that's what I do. It was when the immigrant was sacrificed and he still stood by Superman. Superman reminded me of what America used to stand for, being just. That's what Superman's always been to me. I know online people have been getting crazy over it being like an immigrant story and stuff, but I mean, you only see that if you're like into that. And yeah, Superman is alien. He's an immigrant, but he's American as well. And it reminds us that immigrants are Americans. And those out there who are trying to create like more brouhaha over this, just, they have sad lives, man. And when I go watch movies, that's the last thing that matters to me. What matters to me is just having fun, enjoying the film, enjoying the story, the visuals, everything. And Superman delivered on that point. They had a fun story. The dog, Crypto, that was a comedic relief, like, because, some people out there have unruly dogs, not like my Charlie Chicken Nuggets, but we have another dog here who's a little unruly, so I can see how he can be misbehaving but still be a good dog. And then it turns out, spoiler, that the dog belongs to Superman's cousin, and how she's totally opposite of what Superman is, but totally grounded, you know what I mean? Because of how social media is and how she kind of resembles what the American females in these times resemble. And then Superman just trying to be the good guy. And he is a good guy. And it's funny too, because this movie, even though it's about superheroes, is really grounded. The way that the freaking Green Lantern people, how they just clown on him for being such a good guy, not wanting to kill people or injure animals. In fact, he even saves a squirrel. Come on, man. Superman saving a squirrel, that's probably like one of the best things I've ever seen. Lex Luthor, good actor. I like him in many other movies. But he was good in this one too. Like, he's like an evil genius, but he actually didn't seem to have to be wacky. He resembles a lot of the evil geniuses that live in our times, but aren't really geniuses. I like that he's still human and petty, having a, spoiler, having an army of monkeys. Pretty much having a monkey farm, just Gunshots. Superman, where are you? Fireworks. Having a army of monkeys doing social media bashing Superman. And Superman being human and being affected by that like most people do. I don't really get affected. I just kind of move on with my life. But, I can see a lot of people do. And Superman being super and still being affected by all the pressures of social media. It's hilarious, And I won't give away like the twist on who he fights and all that stuff. But I just found that the movie was relatable. It was not over the top. It introduces to some cool, different metahumans. It made the whole DC universe like metahumans normal in this world. When Superman and Lois were talking about their relationship, and then the Green Lantern people were fighting that alien type eyeball, and they're just like having a casual conversation, like, don't worry about it, they'll take care of it. And like that was a theme throughout the whole movie, where things were just happening like that were out of this world, and people were kind of going on with their regular lives because they kind of seen it before. I like that. So there wasn't really much that I didn't like about the movie. I mean, you could tell what was going to happen in certain scenes, like when Superman was held captive. You already knew how he was going to get out. But I mean, that was okay with me. I didn't mind that. The humor was fine. It wasn't over the top. It was, subtle, but yeah, kind of cheeky at times, but still, I mean, it's Superman, lighthearted. And that's what I like, that it was more lighthearted than the Snyder version. I like the darkness and grittiness, but it wasn't really dark and gritty, It was just like PG, dark and gritty, at least for me, growing up where I grew up. Gritty is gritty, and that's not really gritty. But, I mean, I appreciated that version too. But when I think of Superman, I think of him being more just, loving, and just being the better side of America and the idealism of what it stands for. And that's what Superman always stood for, at least what I thought. But this is just me coming to this as a casual. I read a few comics, but I can't tell you who wrote them. I can't tell you who drew them. I can tell you who Stan Lee is. I like Marvel, I like DC, I know the difference, and I know different heroes and stuff, but I'm not into it deep core like a lot of fans are. So, like I said, this is coming from a casual and the stuff that I liked about the movie. And I don't hate people out there who disagree with me because they come to it with different perspectives and different angles. But to me, I really enjoy Superman. I recommend it to anybody who just wants to watch a cool, nice Superman movie, that's action-packed, believable. You get to see other humans, like the Mr. Fantastic, Terrific. I can't think of his name right now. Like I said, I'm a casual. But he was great, man, with his little nanobots doing all the craziness, being all smart and intelligent, It was like a different, like what Lex Luthor isn't. And I just thought he was cool too. And, going away from this little, what was it? The Justice Police? I can't even think of the name. Damn it, I need to watch the movie again. But the little crew that they call themselves, the little Green Lantern crew, the guy with the little bowl haircut. They even reference the haircut. It's like they make fun of itself in the movie, which is, I don't know, just nice to see. I like that they didn't like break the fourth wall like Deadpool does. Leave for Deadpool in that series. But yeah, I can't wait to see more. I really hope that they do a spin-off on Supergirl or whatever she is. I know she's not Superwoman yet because she doesn't seem mature enough to be, but I wouldn't mind seeing like her adventure with her dog, just creating havoc, or being like an alternative to what Harley Quinn is, something like that. I wouldn't mind it at all. I would definitely go watch that. So anyways, that's what I think about Superman. If you don't like it, that's on you. I do, but I'm just a casual, and that's okay with me because it allows me to have fun when I go watch movies. So speaking of the video games that I bought earlier, I went to my local video game store called Game On, I believe. I didn't take a picture of the outside. I should have. I totally forgot. But a bunch of cool guys out there. It's an independent video game store. And so I like to go in there once in a while and just, see what they got. They have some pretty cool collector's items. Or not like collector's items, but I mean, with these prices, they might as well be collector's items. There's some pretty pricey games in there. It's cool to see, but it's also, sucks to see as well because Probably be games that I definitely will never own, but probably won't ever play. Tell you the truth, with prices like that, unless I can find them digital, or high, or you know, sell the high seas. But here's a tour of my video game store.
Certain places,
Far too long.
What's going on, Tony? Oh,
Yeah, I saw you streaming. I was watching Ethan Van Sciver, and for whatever reason, I said, "Let me see what's going on my homepage." And I see that you were streaming. I said, "Oh my god, Dazed is alive." What's
completely random. Not much, man.
I thought you were going to come back. What happened? You're supposed to come back and rejoin us and celebrate with the cruise.
You never responded to me, Tony.
What are you talking about?
I'll go back and read the messages. How we left it. Hang on.
How we left it was you put the little Cowabunga sign. I said Sundays could work, Saturdays is still Gaming with Geeks, and you put the Cowabunga sign. That was the last thing.
Congratulations on the momentary success.
Who had momentary success? Dave?
Your channel.
Dave? Momentary, Carl. I make like $1,300 a month on super chats alone. I don't think it's momentary.
I mean, yeah, it's a nice place, but you're not getting. You'll be lucky to get to what? You're what? Not even 10,000 right now subs.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see you getting any further.
I don't need to get any further. Carl, I'm making a comic book. I don't need to get any further, sir.
Right into it, Carl.
Now, I also told you about a book that I bought. It's called Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinenman. And it sounded weird to me, so I thought, hey, might as well pick up something weird and have fun with it. And it sounds pretty interesting. It says the apocalypse will be televised. And this is actually a series of books that I just found out when I went to the first opening page. It pretty much tells you all the different parts of the series, and there's about maybe 8 books in this series. So this is the first one. Good thing I bought the first in the series, and I'm gonna read all of them. But let me just tell you how it goes. You know what's worse than breaking up with your girlfriend? Being stuck with the prize-winning show cat. Her prize-winning show cat. And you know what's worse than that? An alien invasion. The destruction of all man-made structures on Earth. And the systematic exploitation of all survivors for sadistic intelligence game show. That's right. That's what. Join Coast Guard vet Carl and his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, as they try to survive the end of the world, or just get to the next level, in a video game-like trap-filled fantasy dungeon. A dungeon that's actually the set of a reality television show with countless viewers across the galaxy, exploiting goblins, magical potions, deadly drug-dealing llamas. This ain't your ordinary game show. Come on, man, that sounds freaking interesting as hell. Plus, it has a cat in it. Princess Donut. Anyways, oh, Felicia Day. Felicia Day, she's I'm not sure if anybody here knows her, but she had that popular series where she was like a nerd and had a bunch of nerd friends doing like World of Warcraft type of, I think, content or type of reality show. I forgot what the show was called. I used to watch it. But she actually likes this book. Anyways, but it's a series of books that sounds freaking interesting as hell. Now, where did I see that part where I was talking about how it is a I don't know where I saw that little part where it says it was a series of books. I mean, I didn't get that far into it. Technical difficulties, sorry. Oh, here it goes. Titles by Matt Denham. The Dungeon Crawler Carl series. Dungeon Crawler Crawl. I can't even speak. Dungeon. That's why you need to read, guys, so your tongue can speak more clearly. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Carl's Dude Dame Scenario. The Dungeon's Arcanist Cookbook. The Gate of the Pharaoh Gods. The Butcher's Masquerade. The Eye of the Bamblin Bride. This Inedible Ruin. And Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon? Anyways, and it goes on to list other books that he's written. But this one sounds like it's going to be a nice, fun read. And I will give you guys some updates just in case you guys want to read with me. Read with me. You know, so we can learn and expand our brain. And now we're going to move on to some products that I also bought and that I recommend. Some first are these two chubby what do you call them? Connectors? They're UBC connectors, but they're from Chubby brand, which I just recently found out existed, and I really like the build and heft of their quality products. Now, I was put onto these Chubby cords by Daily Davis. I used to watch this guy a long time ago. He had a podcast called The War Zone. It was like before podcasts were big. He was like one of the first guys out there. And he never made the transition to YouTube. He did eventually, like now, but it's like too late. He's small potatoes now, unfortunately. But he's still very informative. But he used to have his own website called thebitbag.com, and he used to talk about video games, and he used to have a weekly podcast, you know, talk about video games. But that was before like YouTube was actually big and everything. And he just he made a transition too late. And it ended up selling his podcast, and now he just talks about tech and stuff. But he was talking about these Chubby cords, cables, and I gotta tell you, these are really great quality. And I mean, what I like, I don't mind spending money for quality. Like I was talking to Leo DS, or Leo DS left me a message when I made my review about Ricky's hot sauce. It's almost gone, guys. It's almost gone. But I was making a review on Ricky's hot sauce, and I ended up liking it, but it was expensive, $15, you know. And he was saying how he's cheap and I never spend that much money on hot sauce, and I get it, you know. But the thing is, I told him I like to pay for quality, and I'll pay for quality once if it's gonna last me, because I compare it to the one that I have from Apple, and I mean, look at this shit. Look at it. It's all I got it all, you know, bandaged up. It's just ugly, thin, you know. But this one. Anyway, like, so why would I want to pay premium for like an Apple one when I can just pay for a third-party one that's premium as well? But I really like these. They're nice and thick. They come in very different colors, so they're fun. You can, you know, expressive, and you won't lose it. But yeah, good material, man. Good build. And they have different options. Like if you want to make this green, you can make this green too. But I have two different ones. This one's a longer one that I have for whatever I need to charge things. Usually to charge my my iPad. But I also bought a smaller red one here, and I really like it. I like that it's compact, but yet you can stretch it out if you need to be stretched out a little bit more than it is. But I got this one specifically because it's short and it fits on my desk. I had the green one on there before, but it was just a little bit too long, even with the little wraparound leather thing, or fleather, whatever it is. You know, I'd rather just get another one for its purpose. And then this one, like I said, I use it for, you know, if I need a longer extension, or if I need to charge something, I use this as my charger. And so yeah, it works. But I really do recommend those. They're about $20. Like I said, you pay for quality once, and then you don't have to buy something else again. You know, don't buy the cheap shit, because the cheap shit breaks and you have to just replacing cheap shit. Might as well just get the best one you can for the bang for your buck that you can afford. Anyways, I really like those. In case you're looking out there for UBC cables, whatever, they work. They have a bunch of different type of connections too. They have a bunch of different stuff on their site. But this is what I needed, and I don't buy stuff that I don't need. Anyways, I also bought some other products, some weird shit, something from my iPad. I really like it, and yeah, I'm gonna show you that too. In this video, we're going to be reviewing, pretty much using this in real time, the EVO screen cleaner for, I'm going to be cleaning my iPad on it. I also got it for my TV and for my computer. It costs $9.99 for 2 bottles. Come with 2 little micro cleaning rags. 4-ounce bottles here. Screen cleaner came with 2. This one's already opened. Came in that nice little package. So just this one here, if you look, it has a bunch of smudges. You can't really tell, but it has a bunch of smudges and just a little bit of dirt and stuff. My laptop is really bad, but yeah, let's give it a go. You can see a little bit more of the smudges there. No, I do it generously. You know, just a couple should do, but whatever. We'll do a quick clean. Yeah, I put a little bit too much, but it's fine. Now, the thing is, you don't want to use just any type of cleaner, like an all-purpose cleaner, because it might have some chemicals there that interact with your screen and, you know, probably mess it up. And these things are expensive. You don't want to mess up your electronics, especially when you're looking at them all the time and you just see like imperfections if you're trying to draw or anything of that nature. Yeah, let me take a look for the first clean. Okay, that pretty much left it clean, no smudges. And I was gonna try to go with the second coat, but it doesn't look like it needs it. So these are gonna pretty much last me for a good while. I mean, 4 ounces is still full. I used about 5 squirts. Supposedly it's supposed to give you like about 200 and something squirts. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it works. Good price, good brand, gives you some rags. I mean, what more can you ask for? Give it a go if you need a cleaner. I recommend it. In this video here, we're going to be opening a Amico table stand for the iPad here. I wanted a stand that I'm going to put on a little small desk where I can have the iPad sit up straight, so when I do some drawing and stuff, you know, I don't have to hold it in my hand like I do right now. So it's packaged pretty tight. I mean, pretty simple. You know, it just fits in the box perfectly. Has this little plastic wrap. Instructions. It's simple. You know, it's a simple build. Nothing too fancy. A little bit of rubber grips on the bottom here. But it just turns like this. And you can turn it so you can, you know, get the angle that you want. There are different colors. This one is stainless steel. I just liked it, like it has all in brushed steel. And like I said, you can move this. Now I'm going to draw a little. Now I am at a weird angle, so we'll see how it goes, but I'm just trying to see how it would be if I'm like hitting the screen. It does bounce a little, but I mean,
This will work if I'm on my desk. Right now, like I said, I'm on this little weird little stand I have, you know, so I don't expect much. Like I said, like I'm moving all crazy, so it's shaking. But if I need to be precise, I can be precise as well. So anyways, this stand only cost me $9.99. Definitely worth it. Nice little pickup. Now when I get the desk, I'll put this into more use. But right now, I'm just getting prepped.
And I also came across this funny story or tweet, or what do you call it? Video, TikTok. But it was this girl who smokes a little bit of the ganja. And I said, don't we all? Don't we all? And she was talking about how she broke her bong and how she glued it back together. But I'll let you watch the video.
Super pretty. I need to be really careful with my bowl though, because I already shattered my bowl, but luckily it just broke into 3 very clean pieces and I was able to super glue it back together. Have I been smoking glue?
So pretty much she realizes that she's been smoking glue. It's like, we've all been there. We've all smoked a little bit of glue here and there. Oh my god. People. We're only human, everybody. We're only human. Now, I'm gonna leave it right there. Hopefully you guys like this Potions pop-up show. It's just a show that I'll do once in a while when I have a bunch of stuff that I've been gathering and, you know, don't want to make just one simple episode. Just something you guys can hang out with for a bit and I can actually chew on. Like a nice BBW where she has nice and curves. You can chew on her, not like a skinny stick. Forgot where I was going with that. But, yeah, I'm going to leave it right there. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Remember, always be kind to yourself and enjoy your life. And I'll meet you right there. Peace.